So what do you do if you have very inexpensive gear and you want to get an amazing photo of the solar eclipse in 2024? Well, there's actually a lot of ways to do that, and surprisingly, you can get a really good photo with just a cell phone. Obviously though, before you go take this amazing photo of the solar eclipse, you probably want to get a smartphone photo for the solar eclipse. The first thing you want to do is when you're photographing any type of astrophotography, including solar eclipses, you want to make sure that your camera settings are on manual. The reason for this is because when you are on manual, you have full manual control of everything, meaning like you can control what ISO you're on, because the camera generally won't choose the correct ISO to make a really cool photo. So you want to make sure everything is the correct balance and everything for exactly the kind of photo that you want to take. That's why manual is so important. To use manual settings, I recommend an app called Blackmagic Cam. This can work really well in order to do like manual exposures and everything. That's the app I use personally for my manual stuff. So Blackmagic Cam you can download in the App Store if you'd like. Another thing I definitely recommend using is a tripod. If you're just holding the phone with your hand, you're going to be shaking and all over the place, and especially if you're really zoomed in, it's going to be really hard to get a really sharp photo of it, especially when it's a longer exposure in manual mode. So I definitely recommend getting a tripod so it's more stable and you can take tons of photos at once. Also, this can really help with stacking if you have a tripod, because if you're up for stacking, which means like you can stack all the photos together and average them out to make them less noisy and more detailed and more signal to noise ratio, that's what we call in astrophotography. You can definitely get a much better photo overall. So I definitely recommend stacking. Now you don't have to use a DSLR to do all this stuff, but if you would like to, here is a few reasons why you should upgrade to using a DSLR. One, complete manual control, because the DSLR would completely manually control everything, meaning you can control ISO, shutter speed, everything right off the bat. No third-party software. Really easy. Also, you can zoom in with the lens really close to the solar eclipse without being in digital. It can actually be a natural zoom, and you can still preserve that high-resolution photo detail without losing a lot of clarity and stuff like that. But a DSLR is not a must. You can actually take a great photo with any type of camera you have. Technically, you can create any sort of good photo you want as long as you have the skill and knowledge of what you're doing. So to recap, you want to make sure you have manual control on your camera. You want to maybe try to use a tripod if you can. You want to make sure you have a solar filter for your smartphone. And that's pretty much all you need to take this great photo of the solar eclipse. And until next time, clear skies.